Much love, and I'm Wayne Johnson with Doc and Queen Ministries. Got a marriage workshop coming to you April 18th and 19th of 2025 in the Richmond, Virginia area. I promise you that I had a lesson to share with you today. I want to apologize early because as you see, the lights kind of make your head kind of look funny. But nevertheless, I'm apologizing that early. Want to share with you on today. Woke up this morning probably around 5 o'clock, and that's normal for me. And it's normal for me to meditate and let God just speak to me. But something about last night and doing that, as I wake up at 5 o'clock this morning, what came to my mind is me wanting to rush God to do something. And it seems like even though we're not able to do it, it seems like we want to bully God to answer what we want him to answer. And so I felt that on my spirit that I'm pressuring God to answer me when I supposed to be just here laying, allowing God to give me whatever he wants to give me. And I know what we do, especially this time of the year, especially being a child many years ago, especially around this Christmas holiday, that we as the children, and we are children to God, we as children kind of like want to make our fathers, our parents, our guardians do for us when we should just relax and let them handle the situation because they know more. They've been around longer. And so I felt myself doing that. So what I did was I relaxed and I allowed God to have his way with me. And I say that because I think it's so important, because I think many times we get so bogged down with what we want, that we don't allow God to give us what we actually need. And so as I lay there, allowing God to give me what I needed, then when I did do that, he gave me what I considered a mighty word and things that help. And I think this is not only going to help me, because it did, but I think it's going to also help you. Now, this is kind of out to my standards, actually to prodigals, actually to those wanting to get married, waiting to get married, in separation, divorce, wanting to get back together. All of this is for you. And what I did was I just laid there and I just allowed God to work on me. And what he shared with me was, he kept saying the scripture verse, Proverbs chapter 18. And I've been working on, marriage words of late. And so what kept coming to me was, he who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. Now, I'm going to read that again, but before I read that again, I want you to think about, just meditate on that word, because it kept running back and forth to me over and over. And I really want you to just hear it and allow God to allow that to get into your spirit, especially for those standards that are husbands, because there are a lot of YouTube channels on this marriage restoration and kingdom marriage and God ordained marriage that mostly pertain to the females. But this is for, in particular, the husbands, but it's for everybody. But husbands, I really want you to be able to hear this and just sit on it and just hear the words. I'm not going to get into explaining it, because I think what you want to do is just hear it, go back, read it for yourself, and just let God work that word on you. And it reads, once again, he who finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor from the Lord. So when I was laying there, two questions basically came to me. He who finds a wife, question. finds a good thing, question, and lastly, obtains favor from the Lord. Now, when I was laying there, I could only come up with two, but as I read this aloud, there are three questions. He who finds a wife, question, finds a good thing, question, and obtains favor from the Lord. Now, maybe I ran that first question all the way through. He who finds a wife finds a good thing, question, and obtains favor from the Lord, question. So I just want you to meditate on that. Now, I'm going to close this out because I want you to understand, allow how important that is for you standards to understand. You can't force this. You have to allow God to work this. Prodigals, you have to let God work this. Those who want to become married, let God work this. Those who are already in marriages, you gotta allow God to work this. I want to finish up with Luke chapter 2, verse 19. And this is what I consider myself doing, because this scripture also came to me as I lay there. And it reads, Mary treasured all these words and pondered them in her heart. We get to the point sometimes that we want things so bad on our time when we want it that we don't allow ourselves to allow things to ponder in our heart. And if we allow ourselves to ponder these things, God can work and tell us exactly what he's trying to deliver to us. He's trying to share with us these things for husbands, how important it is for you to find your wife. And when you find your wife, you obtain favor from God. And being that that's the case, you must cherish your wife. And wives, you can cherish your husbands as well. You should cherish them in a way. So before we get to the point of separating or thinking about divorce, when we actually get married to them and we find them, that we always keep God first and understand the importance that God put that person in your life, because he don't want y'all separated, because he has a great thing for you. That's why it says he obtains favor from God. I hope that this message has helped. It was really something big for me. I hope that it is equally as helpful for you as it was for me. Take care, God bless, and once again, much love.